And welcome back.
The Gamer's Guide to the Galaxy.
No.
No?
Not
What's wrong with that one?
That was like too hillbilly.
That was
Too hillbilly?
That sounded like you
Yeah.
were trying to try to rope a comet and
Yeah.
tie it down.
Rope a comment?
Comet.
Comet?
Yeah.
Like a
That makes less sense to me.
Celestial body.
Like you were trying to hog tie a comet down. Like you would do a cattle because you sound like a space cowboy. What part of this are you not following?
The whole rope a comet thing.
It made sense to me. I mean,
Right? Like just like time. And then there's now a rock just sitting there out of nowhere.
or a tornado hunter,
Yes, tornado.
where you
hunters.
actually shoot the tornado with a shotgun
And then you got
and mount it on your hood.
Mount it on your hood. Are you sure we're doing that right, by the way? We get yelled at for that every year.
They're an endangered species. God.
It's not our fault. They only appear once a year.
There's a whole season for them.
There is.
So we were talking about theories for games, fan
Yes.
theories, and just some weird, just weird theories like Majora's Mask. Very strange, weird theories, but I think we'll move on from Majora's Mask to other things.
I think though there's a recipe for these. Like, you know what I mean? Like we were talking about Majora's Mask, and it seems like the default to get crazy, amazing theories is overlying sense of spookiness with vague overtones.
Yep.
The story itself can be very detailed. It just has to have a vague overtone.
The main story, the backstory,
Yeah.
very vague.
Oh,
Right.
You mentioned off screen while we were talking about this briefly, Binding of Isaac, a game that we both love.
Yes.
The straightforward story is that Isaac's mom tries to kill him, and then he has to go through all these trials to escape, pretty much.
How many trials are there, actually? Is there 7?
12.
12? You sure?
Are you talking about characters or floors?
Floors.
12.
Okay.
Anyways,
I was hoping there's 7.
no, you're wrong. You guys keep it moving. You have a while.
Okay.
Anyways, so it's very straightforward in the way it's told, but through all the little clips and stuff that plays through it, there's a theory out there going that it's just about him coming to grips with the evilness inside himself and the good inside himself and trying to grow up and find his own path, and that his father had left him and that he's trying to fill the void of his father figure, and all these really actually deep tones to this very simple game
Yeah.
that are completely way more than the story would ever tell you. And it's fascinating to watch because, it all seems so plausible. That's one of the things that I think makes fan theory so great, is that they all seem so plausible.
Rather
Like,
than...
this could be a thing that the game dev team actually thought of.
Right. Well, there probably are things that the devs thought of.
Some of them.
Some.
Some of these are very well detailed, but you're like, there's no way when they put the shade color of those curtains blue, do they mean that?
Yeah, probably.
I respect you for it.
What are you, an English
No.
teacher now? The blue shades mean that he's feeling depressed in his life right now, and he really needs to... No, I'm pretty sure he means that the shades are blue.
Yeah. I had that too with English teachers.
Same.
Reading into things way too much.
Wait.
When Shakespeare said this, what he really meant was sexual innuendo. I'm like,
Wait.
where are you even getting that?
My favorite thing ever, though, Ray Bradbury was told to his face that his own interpretation of his own book was wrong by college professors and college students.
Yep.
I mean, it's not an interpretation when you write the damn thing.
Yeah,
Just throwing it out there.
apparently, just so everyone knows, Fahrenheit 451 was about how television is going to ruin people's love for books and had nothing to do with censorship.
Yeah. Although, the way that book is written...
The way the book is written, it can
lot-
be interpreted that way, but if Ray Bradbury is telling you to your face that I didn't mean it for that, I meant it as television is going to ruin people's love for books, you don't tell him to his face, no, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Right. Because, no, he's not wrong. He's
He wrote the
actually
book.
right.
Well, I got that impression at first in that book, like, oh, well, obviously they're seeing television, ruining stuff. But I also,
Then the
through
whole-
extension of that, I got to, you know what I mean?
The whole burning of books.
Well, no, burning your books, floor-to-ceiling televisions being a very prominent thing that he went into detail about.
It's be a nice size one. Too.
It would be, right?
Yeah.
But
we had to actually like crane our necks though to do anything.
What I more got out of that personally was, don't get so sucked into media and all these different things as opposed to stories and
so you actually got the book for what it was meant to be.
Yeah, like people in that book were very relied on TV.
But why can't you just take a book for multiple meanings?
Exactly.
People seem to think that a book must mean one thing.
Yeah, that's why I said my personal take.
Right, and I got that take too. I think we've all read Fahrenheit 451 here.
Anybody who's taking 9th grade English
is
read that book, and I applaud the education for making you read that book. That book is fantastic.
Yes.
But, I also got the censorship thing as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can absolutely see how that can be seen from that.
Right.
And that's even still a good message. But I obviously agree with the author. If he says that's what it's about, that's what it's about.
Yeah. Or at least that was his intention when he wrote it.
Yeah.
And you can't say that, no, your intention was something else.
Yeah.
When he's telling you, no, that wasn't the intention. It's cool that you read into it that way, but no.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that's one of the reasons why we love these fan theories, is because even though everyone hates when your English teacher does that, when they're like, oh, well, let's read into why the colors are blue. It's very something like very primal and endorphin relief by finding those like deep dark secrets.
Because I think just as human beings, we want to find the deep dark. We want to learn the meaning of everything around us. And in games, it's no different.
Oh,
developer puts a stupid Easter egg in, and suddenly it's like, oh, now
canon.
Yeah,
canon.
I mean, in Uncharted 3, there was an Easter egg left in there by accident because they hadn't announced The Last of Us yet. But there was an Easter egg in there of a news clipping of The Last of Us. It was saying, spores, fungal spores causing zombie-like symptoms in large animals or something like that. And now people are wondering, does Uncharted and Last of Us take place in the same universe now?
Possibly.
I mean, it's just an Easter egg to reveal their game, but...
Might be.
And I think this is actually going back to kind of a discussion that we had previous on this channel, which I think was actually like episode 2 or 3, which was, are video games a form of art? And I think this is... We all agree about that, absolutely. But I think this is another way of showing how much like other forms of art this is. Mm-hmm. The overarching stories telling you, the stories of books, and the visual cues from a movie being able to show them in a very, directed light while looking through different lenses. For example, oh, well, now that I'm looking at it with this idea in mind, this whole game looks different. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a really cool thing that you can do with, a form of such high art that you can read one thing and then visualize it, and then the whole game's different.
We can do a critical lens essay on it.
Exactly.
No, I'm never doing critical lens essays again. Never. Never, ever, 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 never, ever, ever, ever. Or DBQs. Ever, ever, ever.
DBQs were easy. Stop.
I hated those things.
Dude.
Anyway, we're digressing.
Yeah.
We should come back.
But yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that I really, when people talk about games not being, being good or for you or having, any real impact, it makes your critical thinking skills skyrocket. Not only just to learn the mechanics, play the game, and be able to do all the multitasking that you do, and still keep up with social aspects of it, because there are social aspects to video games. The critical thinking that you have to go through on some of these, and that people do, is astounding. I mean, we read all these things, but you never really stop thinking, like, wow, one dude just sat here and compiled all this research and did all of this in the game just to craft this major theory.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
I did a critical lens essay of Sonic Adventure 2 once.
Go ahead.
No. I just want to see your reaction. No. It is true, though. I did do that once.
I was honestly, when you said that, I kind of half expected you to have it with you. Just be like...
Pulls it out.
No.
Pulls it out. And now, introduction. Sonic Adventure 2.
No. No, I'm not a good writer. We're not going to go there.
But actually, if that was the...
It was this big.
Was that the one that you were talking about, like Sound Battle Arena 2?
Or Sonic Adventure 2, yeah.
Yeah. That one actually probably does have a cool fan theory out about it with all the chows and all that.
There's actually...
Well, no, because the chow thing is actually covered in Sonic Adventure 1. It's actually part of that story.
There actually is fan theories about a different Sonic game, and unfortunately it is Sonic the Hedgehog 06. The fan theory is that Sonic is actually going against the devil.
I don't know.
Well, that's what Iblis is. So, yeah.
Yes.
I get that. But that's not really a subtle thing. I mean,
no, it's not subtle.
Iblis.
It's not subtle. The game came out in 06. The game was awful. We'll give it 6 strikes for that.
But yeah, I mean, I absolutely. This is one of the best parts about playing video games. Is, you know what I mean? We watch games constantly. We watch each other stream games. We watch, you know what I mean, all this different stuff on Twitch. But, you know, with recent creepypastas becoming a main thing, and all these darker stories being able to pull from video games, it's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're just only mentioning, you know, fan theories, you know what I mean? But there's actually entire, like, made up, you know, new age folklore or fairy tales about, like, dark video game stuff. Like, Sonic.exe, to bring back Sonic. Actually, Sonic has the most, which is terrifying.
It's because Sonic has the most... Sonic is like the X-Men of universes.
Yeah.
There are so many Sonic the Hedgehog universes, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because they got to keep...
Also, Sonic can very quickly become very creepy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah. Sonic 06 came very creepy. Very creepy.
Sonic.exe. Super creepy.
Okay, but that was a fan theory, and that about a kid who died, whose spirit went to a game, and then someone made a... I don't think it's a Flash game, but it's a pretty good quality, actually, game for it.
It was a Flash game.
Yeah, someone made a Flash game about the theory of the child dying and his spirit getting stuck into his video game, and anyone who plays that game cartridge of Sonic will die.
It wasn't a cartridge; it was on .exe on a computer.
Oh,
but even going back to like Majora's Mask for a small bit, we're not going to go back into it fully because we went way too far in it. They're like Ben drowned. You know what I mean? That actually played through the whole game, but put a different, you know, scarier tale on it, and it was terrifying. You know what I mean? And I really enjoy those darker twists on games, even though I'm not a very big horror fan. Just because it's very cool to see the games change.
Actually, I just remember one of my favorite theories. In the original Pokemon, Red and Blue,
I know what you're talking about.
Blue has Eradicate.
It's scary.
And it's actually not. It's Blue. This takes place like 3 years before Ash.
Yeah, it's scary.
And you beat this Eradicate on the SSN, and he runs off the SSN. Next place you run into Gary,
Pokemon Graveyard.
It's Lavender Town.
I hated that
And
music.
he doesn't want a battle there. Every other time you see him, he wants a battle. That's the one place he doesn't.
And also, he doesn't have his Eradicate in that from that point.
From that point on, the theory is
you killed his Eradicate.
You killed his Eradicate in that battle on the SSN with your almighty
tackle attack.
Yeah. Pretty much. Well, if you had Charmeleon, you had Slash. So maybe you slash a little too deep and you hit the artery or something.
But even still, I remember that theory, and that's a very good theory.
And it sticks very well with the whole game because, like, literally, his Eradicate, which was actually one of his better Pokemon at the time, is not in the game anymore.
Right.
It's never seen again.
Yeah.
Never mentioned again either.
Of course, there's the practical solution, which is Eradicate beyond that level gets weak.
Yes. Eradicate beyond that level gets weak. You've already evolved it fully. You no longer need to hold on to it to try and get more Pokemon for your Pokedex. the average person would give Raticate up at that point and put it back in the PC. But the fact that how quickly he runs off the SSN, freaking out, and the next time you see him is Lavender Town, and he doesn't want to battle. It's the only time he ever doesn't want to battle. It does support that theory.
It does.
And he also was already at a Pokemon grave.
Yes.
I mean, when you meet him there.
When you meet him, he's actually at a grave.
Yeah, which is also uncharacteristic of him to be visiting a graveyard at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's such an ass through the entire game.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like a very respectful person.
Yeah, we actually forgot to call him his real name, which was Asshole. I believe you were allowed 7 characters.
Karaoke.
Yeah, I never named him when I was a kid because I was just very unimaginative. Actually, no, I always named him my brother, and I whooped him.
See, I didn't have a brother. I just named him whatever the name of whoever I didn't like at the time.
Yep. That's how you got out your little small nerd rage. Just
Yep. Absolutely.
I said, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Nerd rage.
He was just blue in my game always.
See, I never did that.
I just didn't care about his name. In Gold and Silver and in Ruby Sapphire, the names were more of Assface and Bitch.
But anyways.
Which is really bad because in Ruby and Sapphire your rival's a girl. But
anyways. But yeah, even like something like that, where that was probably just a strategic decision because Raticate became, that's when he hit his power spike.
Yeah.
But digging even just a small bit, because that's not even that far of a stretch, that made that whole scene much more, tear-jerking almost.
It's really probably like 2.5 minutes of the game in total.
Right.
Yeah, and it gives, that Gary Oak character, I'm going to do this because he's Gary frickin' Oak. Anyways,
they retconned this.
He's Gary Oak. Just
Gary Oak.
No,
silence. Silence.
He's blue.
Silence.
There is a show where red and blue are.
Congrats.
Don't care.
Don't care. Gary Oak. Anyways, where the typical jerk Gary Oak actually has a sincere side. And that actually just gives this jerk character a little bit more redeeming quality and more depth, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I see that. And it's even possible, because it's not like we didn't establish that Pokemon can die.
Yeah.
It's the only game that we established that Pokemon can die, actually, as far as I know.
Yeah. No. Well, in-game, yes. But in show, they said that if Charmander's flame goes out, he dies.
I'm not even talking about the show.
If you read Pokedex entries for ghost Pokemon, it says how those Pokemon come to be.
Yeah, okay.
Some are by the deaths of children, some are by... I'm serious.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, I know too.
Some are by the deaths of children, some are by the deaths of Pokemon.
I'm talking about... I'm talking about that we've established that there can be Pokemon that are killed, like the Marowak.
Yes.
Yeah. Specifically what I'm referring to. I'm referring to the spirit of the Marowak that you have to, protect somehow.
Cubone and Marowak?
Yeah, Cubone and Marowak.
Mother.
Yeah, Cubone's mother. Which there's a whole bunch of stuff surrounding that too.
Yes,
and how you need the Slith lens or whatever it is.
Silph
Scope, yeah, that's what it is.
But
to see it and...
There is another theory about Cubones now, because he just reminded me. The theory is that a Cubone wears its mother's head.
Yeah, that's actually in the Pokedex.
It is?
Yeah, it's completely canon in the Pokedex.
Yeah.
I never read
people assume that that's what happens when a Kangaskhan is murdered and the little Joey dons its mother's head.
Yeah, that's
what it is.
Also, that skull just keeps getting passed down from generation to generation.
Actually, no. The theory that I read, at least, is what happens when you turn into Marowak is actually it starts growing up, and because its head's permanently in the skull, it fuses with its own skull and becomes part of them.
Yeah.
Which, actually, that's what I thought when I first saw that. I'm like, that's the little Kangaskhan. Where's his mama?
Where's his mama?
Listen, I was like 7.
You're like, you were 7?
Yeah. I was born in 93, dude.
Yeah, but Pokemon came out long before that.
I had to be given a Pokemon Color. Or, not Pokemon Color. A Game Boy Color.
I had to be given a Pokemon Color.
My grandmother had a Game Boy.
You will be playing blue.
And I was given a Pokemon... a Game Boy Color.
You're going to say Pokemon Color again,
I was.
I can just see someone like, young Jacob, you get Pokemon blue.
I got red. Get out of here with that. Actually, my brother got blue, I got red. So yeah, I was given a Pokemon Color.
I was given
red
both.
Red is best color.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I was given both, and I played both simultaneously.
Red is best color.
But yeah, like even that, it's just a fantastic little side theory. Which I mean, game developers are very smart. They never disprove or approve of any of these for the most part. Like occasionally they're like, yeah, that's actually completely canon. But
if they don't like it, they sometimes will. If it's like goes against their game,
yeah. If it goes like super crazy, like Hitlery, they kind of get rid of it. But for the most part, like these ones, like they're a little bit dark, but they're not like, no, that's not what we actually envisioned. They just kind of let it be.
Right. Well, if it's not hurting anything,
yeah.
Why shoot it down?
No, it actually makes the game more interesting in the end, and more people might want to get it.
Exactly.
That's what the theory is about.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is, like, in other forms of, like, for example, in movies sometimes, they will actually just, just to get the facts straight of what they're trying to do so it doesn't fall out of control, they actually clear up things. Like, for example, with Lost, they cleared up a lot. They're like, no, that's not actually real. Don't think that. Nope. And I know you want to go on a whole Lost tangent because you love Lost.
Nah, I didn't really like Lost.
But, well, you love talking about Lost.
He wants to go on a Lost tangent so we can bash it, but that's different.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't that.
But you know what I mean? Like, that whole thing where it's...
Never watched it, actually.
It's actually pretty decent for the first part. But anyways, I mean, I like that they kind of just let it be, and, like, all these theories can kind of conglomerate, and there's a whole subsidy of people who just enjoy reading game theories.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And create a YouTube channel dedicated to it.
Yep.
Yes.
Which may or may not have inspired this topic in the first place.
Yeah.
It did.
It did. Great job.
Because we watched a few of those last week, and we were very inspired by their level of dedication over there.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, shall we wrap up the
I
show?
believe we should.
I think we should.
I believe we kind of talked this one to death, but I'm glad we did. It was very productive. I liked it.
Yeah.
It's a good topic.
Great topic, yeah.
All right, well, I say thanks for sticking with us through this very long topic. Have a nice night.
Yep.
And we shall be back next week.
See ya.